Straighten the glasses up there. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Stuart here with MMS. I want to take a moment of your time today, and I want to visit with you. If you struggle with finding your niche or niche, depending on how you choose to say it and what side of the Mississippi you're on, or you find yourself unsure and uncertain of your passion, because I know that this can be a real struggle for a lot of people getting into the online space. They see the possibility of being able to walk away from their job, be able to earn their own money, be able to control their time, all those kind of things, spend more time with family or doing things that they love. And they sit there spinning, what. I found a website called 123test.com. I had to just double check that. And it was very interesting, a lot of the things that they had in there. And what I'm going to share with you here, let me just show you this just so I can get that, and then I'll come right back. But I want to share my screen with you here real quick. There we go. So in this case here, this is it. So yeah, they got psychological tests, but look here, a career test. Now, why would that be important? Because you know where your natural interests lie, or kind of what you would be good at. Your competency-based test here, personality test. I think that's real good, because whether you're an introvert or extrovert, that really doesn't matter. But with your personality, there are aspects that if you get like stuck on hard detail task, and that's not part of your personality, that is actually working against you. And that's why it's important about teams. And we'll talk about that in a second. You just hang on there with me on that. But then you got your team role test, and see, like I was talking about that with that work values, the Jung test and the DISC test. Now the DISC model is direct influencing, what is that? Calculating and steady, I think was, I'm not quite sure about the S. I know I've referred to it, taking it because my own job role has required that I take that. But between that and the Jung test, and then this is the thing I want to share with you about the Jung test. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now because I just wanted you to see the site. The Jung test is really the Briggs-Myers test. And what that lets you know is there are 16 personality types. And with those 16 personality types, it lets you know a lot more about who you are and different things that have gone on. And like with me, I found out back even when I was in school, I'm going to say 5th grade, maybe 6th grade, they actually thought I had a learning disability. And the reality is that they couldn't keep my attention because it was drudgerous, if you will. Grind work that's like, here, do this, and you gotta, it was too much for me, and they would lose my attention. And maybe that's where the ADHD came in. I don't know. But back in my day, they really didn't recognize that, unless, like, I guess you were well out of it, because there was no conversation about that during the time I was at that age in my school. But what I did find out is that I myself am an ENTP. And who that person is a creator, debater. I've heard a couple other terms, but I can't recall those right off the top of my head because there's a little bit more research I did. And why I say that is that I took that Jung test, and then I ended up taking another Briggs-Myers test to validate that, and it did. So that was why, and this is free. That was why I was like, make it kind of easy for you guys there. And what an ENTP, back to is that I'm an extrovert, nurturing, thinking, perceptive. It means I can create a lot of ideas, and my mind a lot of time will go faster than my mouth, I guess, really, at that point. And sometimes I'm thinking you're tracking right along with me, and you get that deer in the headlight look, or like I'm a dragon with 3 heads, is because I've haven't slowed down enough to frame the information that you need. And I'm shooting all over the place, or I'll stop mid-sentence and move over to something else. And that's one of the challenges I have. And that was what uncovered that, which was, I thought, absolutely fantastic for me to do that. So now I have something to work on to improve myself, to be able to position myself to, as I offer the things that I'll be forthcoming with here to you, so that way that it makes more sense to you whenever if I do go off on a tangent. But more importantly, that this isn't about me, other than the fact that just that I expose that, and I'm sharing my results with you over what I had for you to find yours, because I think that this is where it's really going to come down into where your passion is and what your niche is and how you're able to find that. And you can start drilling down instead of running around lost, looking at this one or being distracted by that shiny object and putting money here, putting money there. Reel back for a second, stop, relax. I know my wife hates me saying that, but I mean, just internally, just okay, give some contemplation and some thought to it. Now, a lot of you guys just know what you want. Good. That simplifies it. You might learn a couple of other pieces about yourself, because under with the example with the DISC model, it lets you know that if you're a real outgoing person, high energy, and this is one of these guys, like they're going to a meeting and they'll stop on the side of the road, they'll pick up 15 people. Come on, we're going over here. Go with us. We'll have fun. To where DISC, they under the D, the direct communicator, a lot of people really freak out about that because they're like, get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done. The steady Freddies, as I like to call them, under the S, they just they don't like any ripples in the pond. They like everything. Everything has its place. Everything's like ching, ching, ching. And then the calculators are all the brainiacs, the accountants, and everything's got to connect, and there's got to be a dot for everything, and there's got to be a connection and a fluidness to all of that. So they have what they call the high C, high D, high I, high S, which means that you're, if you will, don't take this the wrong way, but out of the ones, because there's a rating scale on all of them, and they all move within each other. And then there's one area that you're high in, and one area that you'll be low in, and then the other two will be in there somewhere, and you'll get a balance. So somebody who, I've seen it built in a circle to where there's 60 blocks in it, and the more neutral you are, to where you can move, because everybody moves between all four of them, just note that up front. But the more permanent you are in the middle is the more neutral you are between all of them. And I guess in some respects you're more at peace with yourself, for lack of a better analogy. So that way, if you want to be direct, you're not as direct as somebody who would be what they would call high D, because you're task oriented and you're way over here. That would put you like in the 1 or 2, 3 range. So that's like everything's like you miss the people aspect on it. It's just all about the task. And somebody who's on the people, which would be like a 3 or 4, then they miss the part about the task, and it's all about the people, and they lose it. And that's whenever it starts zeroing in towards the center, that where all of that starts balancing out, to kind of give you a better idea about that. It's a very interesting test. I will tell you that. So take it for you, just so that you have a better idea. Not to beat yourself up about it or anything like that, because a lot of people like to pick on D's. And the fact is that a lot of high executive type people are actually D's. But again, they've probably came off the edge and came more towards the middle, which that's a good balance point for them. So with that, I wanted to share all that with you. And of course, as always, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. We always want to welcome you into the family and spend time with us. Feedback, put comments down below if there's anything about this you found interesting, or anything that you can add to it. It would be much appreciated, because the community as a whole would love that. And on that note, I have one last thing before I sign off, and that is that I went through a 15-day challenge, marketing challenge, which I've got some other stuff will be coming up about that, and I'll share that with you here shortly. I think that you'll find that very interesting too, but that's kind of why I've been kind of silent over the last week, because I know I haven't published anything in a few days, and my apologies for that, but sometimes I have to actually back up myself and go through some learning processes and gain some information, some insights on some things to bring back to you, my own findings. Because again, I'm living a life and I'm sharing that life with you, and then this is kind of where this comes in. And I would hope you would do the same with me, because I look forward to that interaction, because I respond to all inputs and inquiries. As always, we thank you for listening and being here. And with that, we are